Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I thank Allah for allowing me to send a letter to Imam W.Deen Mohammed and thank him for all of his good influence in my life and my family's life. I sent this to him. It's dated, as you can see at the bottom, June 23rd, 2008, just a few months before he passed. Not realizing that he was going to pass, I thank Allah for allowing me to send him this open letter with my two sons on the back of the Muslim Journal, because they had also graduated in that year, 2008. They had graduated from high school, both of them. And at this time, in 2008, I myself was battling with cancer, sinus cancer, a serious battle of sinus cancer. And I have my last communication to the Imam here before he passed in that same year. And his last communication to me, knowing that I had cancer, was, "I'm praying for you right now." When I communicated that to him, I had surgery for it in March of 2008, and then radiation on up until the end of June. And his communication was, "I'm praying for you right now." And not knowing that he would pass at this point here in September 2008 on the 9th, and today we know his janazah was the 11th of September. And I was in pretty bad shape, but I was able to make it to his janazah. Also, by the grace of Allah, which I put on YouTube, was my first conversation with Imam Mohammed. We was able to preserve that, and not so much the conversation, but my first words to him, meeting him in Hattiesburg, Mississippi for the first time, August 22nd, 1987. So, Alhamdulilah, I'm glad we had that, and I put that on YouTube as well. But I just wanted to share this letter here, again, not knowing that Imam Muhammad was going to pass a few months later, as this is July 11th, Muslim Journal, the 8th, but it's at the time the letter was written right at the end of June. And just take a moment, say, "Thank you," letter to Imam W.Deen Mohammed. And I say, I write you this letter as an expression of my love, thanks, and appreciation for the many ways in which I and my family have benefited from your wisdom and leadership. You may never know the full extent to which you have touched so many of our lives, but Allah knows. I pray that He will reward you deeply. My two sons, Mustafa Ramadan El-Amin and Mansa Musa El-Amin, graduated high school on June 19, 2008. Although I am very proud of them and thankful to Allah, I also owe a debt of gratitude to you for being the person and the leader that you are. When I first heard you speak, February 26, 1975, I was in my last year of high school. I know that I finished high school because of your influence in my life, which also gave me a greater appreciation for the value of education, and to be able to encourage my sons to appreciate the value of education. So they have finished high school under your leadership, just as I finished under your leadership. I finished high school in 1975. Alhamdulillah, the same year he came into leadership. I pray that they will be able to appreciate the good that they have received from your leadership by way of their parents. And the last line was, "Thank you and may Allah bless you and reward you for all the good that you are doing. Love you always. Hope to see you soon. I sent this to Imam Mohammed, and I thank Allah that I was able to do that and is on record for doing that. And from my heart, even though I was suffering from cancer at that time, that my love and my appreciation just came through at that time and always have been. And I was hurt like most when the Imam passed away. But I just wanted to share this thank you letter that I sent to Imam Mohammed, and it was published in the paper, so he definitely saw it in July. And at that time, like I say, I was in a serious battle with sinus cancer. And again, I've put on YouTube, and I'll probably put it here, that I'll also have my first conversation with Imam Mohammed. He allowed me to tape it. But more importantly, what I'm saying is my first words to Imam Mohammed. And here, his last words to me, it wasn't in response to this, was, I'm praying for you right now, when it was communicated to him that I had cancer. So I didn't see him anymore from the time I wrote this, but I did make it to his janazah. Alhamdulilah Rabbil Alameen. Here is the indication of me getting radiation for sinus cancer. As you can see, July 24th, 2008 is the date of this here. But if you can see, I got radiation treatment for sinus cancer starting May 13th, 2008, and it ended June 30th, 2008. And as you can see, at the same time, I sent this letter to Imam W.Deen Mohammed, and I'm so thankful that I was able to do something like that, not knowing that he was going to pass. And even though we know he's gone physically, he's as much alive with us in our heart and our mind and our spirit. Yes, here's more. I was going to New York for my treatment at that time, Bethesda Medical Center, and had the doctor there. And here I was 50 years old when I was diagnosed with this sinus cancer. And again, I reached out to Imam Mohammed, and his words, which it was, I had cancer twice. He said it some years ago. I'm praying for you right now. And I didn't get a chance to see him anymore from that point on because he did pass. But again, I was in pretty bad shape, but we made it to the janazah. And I'm honored to have that letter on the Muslim Journal, but also to have my first communication, my first meeting with him, and my words that I was able to say to him the first time I met him, which was in 1987, which we know now is about 30 some odd years ago. So yes, 2008 was quite a year. Good year, but also very stressful year. My sons did graduate, Mansa, Mustafa, and Mansa. I was proud of them, but at the same time, I was in a very, very serious battle with sinus cancer, and some years to recovery, and then to lose Imam Mohammed at that time. It was very difficult, very stressful. But alhamdulillah, we're still moving forward just as we know he would want us to do. I just want to share my, which I already put out on YouTube, but I just want to share my first words to Imam Mohammed the first time I met him in Mississippi. So actually, before the Imam and I spoke, I asked him if I had a tape recorder. I was young, about 29. And I asked him if I could tape a conversation, and I said the reason why at that time I didn't have any children, and I just wanted them to know that I met with our leader at that time. And So my sons eventually met him in Chicago one time coming out of a movie theater in 2004. But here's some of our first words. Alhamdulilah, Rabbil Alameen.
But brother Imam, I just like to thank you for the opportunity and thank you for the time. Pray Allah to bless you with success and good health and bless you with great understanding. I know you have great understanding and I'm just overwhelmed. But from my heart, I really want to try to make a contribution to the advancement of Islam. You know, and I really want to do my best. And I appreciate any advice. You said very safe.
Yes, it is. My desire to have this opportunity to meet you in person. And as I said, the presentation that you made, in my opinion, is very, very impressive. And I do believe that
I'll leave it at that time, you know. But brother Imam, I just like to thank you for the opportunity and thank you for the time. And I pray Allah to bless you with success and good health and bless you with great understanding. I know you have great understanding and I'm just overwhelmed. But from my heart, I really want to try to make a contribution to the advancement of Islam. You know, and I really want to do my best. And I appreciate any advice. I know you said very safe.
yes, it is. My desire to have this opportunity to meet you in person. And as I said, the presentation that you made, in my opinion, is very, very impressive. And I do believe that you are not given your good wishes to the secret orders, but you're trying to bring them to question the value of secrecy, the legitimacy of secrecy as they practice it, and I think to that extent you're serving the religion, you're serving the interests of the Muslims, you know.
So Alhamdulilah, Rabbil Alameen. Again, and hopefully we just stress the importance of documenting our history and the things that we do for now and for future generations. So here I'm honored, and I thank Allah for documenting this, and even from the first meeting with the Imam, he allowed me to tape it, and I have his first words to me, which I was much younger, my first words to him, and then again sending this letter to him, not knowing he was going to pass, and I was struggling with cancer. So again, let us always try to be kind to each other and express good words to each other, as Mohammed the Prophet ﷺ said, if you can't say something good about somebody, don't say anything at all. But also we hear the saying is try to give people their roses while they're alive, so they can benefit from it and smell the roses while they're alive. And again, Allah, always things happen on time the way it's supposed to happen, and we just keep the faith, trust in Almighty Allah. And like I say, at this time here, I was struggling with cancer, but I was still moved, alhamdulillah, to express my thanks and appreciation to the Imam. And of course, when he passed, I just continued to try to work, as we all are trying to do better to help our community and help the world, and to carry into reality some of the good, beautiful teachings that he shared with us from the Quran and life example of Muhammad the Prophet. Again, I greet you, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. And we know this was the day that our beloved Imam had his janazah. And we pray that Allah open the gates of the highest level of Jannah. Alhamdulilah, Rabbil Alameen, for our good brother and leader and teacher, Imam W.Deen Mohammed. Assalamu alaikum.